Let's go to Iran.
Yes.
I was not here yesterday. I understand that this came up yesterday, but in light of the fact that you
I did.
felt the need to take to social media this morning to restate your objections to yesterday's New York Times story. I wanted to ask about it again.
What specifics?
What exactly is the problem that you see with the story? The facts of the story, what the IAEA reported, what people's, what experts think about that, do not seem to be in question.
There's a couple, I think, notions in this story that we disagree with. The one being, I think it was the second paragraph, that Western officials are unaware of why this is happening. That's just not the case. This type of stockpile under the JPOA and the extensions can go up and down. That is perfectly acceptable, as long as at the end of the time period, which in this case is June 30th, it's back below 7,650 kilograms. In the past, the IAEA has reported they've gone up and then they've gone down, and they've always met their requirements. And we fully expect they will do so in this case. One of the biggest notions is it made, it insinuated strongly that they were doing something they shouldn't be doing by raising the stockpile. That's not accurate. Also, the notion that this is a major obstacle, diplomatic obstacle inside the room. Talking to Undersecretary Sherman, other of our top negotiators, this isn't. What matters is that in the JCPA, Iran has committed to getting down to 300 kilograms. They've already committed to doing that.
Okay, I don't think that it was called an obstacle.
It was called a major obstacle in the story.
Obstacle or challenge?
A major obstacle. It was called a major obstacle. Let's go through Matt's and then, okay. I mean, I was very precise in my wording. That's what it was called. The story also called into question whether Iran's nuclear program is frozen based on this one fact. And it indeed is, given that they have to get back to the number that they agreed to, which is 7,650. They can go up and down, but at the end of the day, they have to get back to that number, frozen in place at that number.
So selling it on the open market.
Let me finish with Matt, Elise.
We don't have to do like 10 minutes with one person. Can't we kind of mix it up?
Well, let's just not interrupt people. I'll do one more with Matt, and then I'll go to you. Okay? So pick your next.
I'll defer to Elise.
He's ceding the floor to his colleague from CNN.
Thank you. Well, are you saying that it doesn't matter what the size of the stockpile is at all currently, and it just matters what it is on June 30th?
Under the terms of the JPOA, that stockpile, correct, can go up and can go down. As long as at June 30th, they can get it down to 7,650.
If they keep increasing it, and I'm taking you at your word that, you know, it doesn't matter right now, but if it keeps going up, isn't it going to make it that much more difficult for them to reduce it by June 30th?
Honestly, I've talked to all of the nuclear experts on this. There is not a concern that they will get down to the right amount by June 30th. If they don't, that'll be a problem. You're right. We expect that they will, and we just don't have concerns about them being able to do that. So I'm not trying to you know, downplay this by any means, but the facts are what they are about what Iran has to do or not do.
On your online tweet.
I said everything I tweeted. I said in the briefing yesterday for all of my Twitter followers who watch the briefings online.
I'm an avid follower, but not maybe as diligent as others.
There's a couple, as we've talked about, really thorny issues inside the room, and this is nowhere near the top of that list.
I just want to make sure that we're clear. So you're dispute you have problems with Mr. Sanger's analysis, but you're not disputing David Albright's assessment that Iran has fallen behind its pledge under the JPA, correct?
I would dispute that.
Ray, I'm sorry, I just can't, I don't understand why this isn't more of a concern. If we're only 28 days or so away from the deal, wouldn't you be expecting the Iranians to be reducing their stockpiles to get in line with what they might eventually, what eventually is the deal?
Matt, what people are losing sight of here, and I think this is actually an important point, is that Iran has already agreed to go from that huge number to reduce that, 96% to 300 kilograms.
Right.
In terms of the overall stockpile, I just think that's an overall sort of meta point that people aren't paying maybe enough attention to.
fifth recently?
Which issue?
The issue of reducing it and what they're going to do
To 300?
to 300 and what they're going to do and how they're going to reduce
Yes, so
it.
that is one of the outstanding, at the expert level particularly, one of the outstanding issues, how they're going to get down to 300 kilograms. I mean, they're meeting sort of continuously now.
Yeah.
So there's meetings, you know, on a whole host of subjects. I don't think I would say this is discussed every time they meet. There are big nuclear issues that need to be finalized to get to an agreement here. This is one of them, but it's by no means the most challenging.